Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to go over the red hive in specific and which bees you should keep and not keep. And before we start that, I'd like to talk about the video from before really quickly. Whenever I said that blue will get buffed and red and white will get nerfed, don't completely trust everything that I've said. I guess I didn't stress this enough, but I've been observing pro players and watching YouTubers, and this is what I've observed and thought that red and white were the best hive colors so far, and blue's a little lacking. So Onet may think differently and change the colors and buff or nerf them according to what he thinks, but from what I saw, I thought blue would get buffed and white and red would get nerfed, but this may not be completely true. So yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, and let's continue on to the video. Alright guys, so as for the bees in the red hive, you want to keep a basic bee for the 20% extra pollen. That's really good, and in each hive you have, you would want a basic bee, no matter which color you're going for. Bomber bee, the only reason why it says I have one is because I'm trying to make a vector bee, and that just happened to roll on the last roll of jelly when I was trying to roll for the vector bee. So bomber bee, I don't really use it because, again, the two different types of red hives and flame hive. Red hives are flame hives and bomb hives. Flame hive works a lot better than bomb hive, so if you're running a bomb hive, which I don't recommend, you're gonna want to keep it, but for flame hive, you don't want it. So for the brave bee, this is mainly about whether you, like, I guess, want more attack in your hive, if you care more about red collection, or if you care more about your attack. And its gifted hive bonus is 1 extra bee attack, which is extremely good. I didn't have it because I don't care too much about my attack, but in the future, Onet says he wants to add a brave flute as a bee equip, which gives the brave bee melody, and I can I guess substitute it for one of my music bees. So in the future I may have it, but for now I'm not gonna have it. If you do a lot of attacking, keep a brave bee. Bumble and Cool Bee, blue bees, you don't even need to consider. Hasty Bee is more optional. For me, I kept it because the Ant Amulet gives a lot of movement speed if you get it, but for me, my Ant Amulet doesn't have movement speed, so I kept the Hasty Bee. So Hasty Bee is more optional depending on if you need speed or not. Looker Bee, you're going to want to keep. It's gifted hive bonus, 50% extra critical power, extremely helpful, and its focus tokens can really help a lot during field collection and battle. Rad Bee, you're going to want to keep no matter bomb or flame hive because red pollen all around is good. Rascal Bee, again, if you're running a bomb hive, you're going to keep. For me, flame hive, which is more expensive than a bomb hive, I didn't keep. So for the stubborn bee, this was somewhat hard to choose, but apparently the stubborn bee's gifted ability is broken right now because I had it before and I've been testing it around. The token lifespan doesn't seem to change, and if you have one, it's basically just wasting a slot in your beehive. So I would recommend taking it out until Onet fixes it. Once he does fix it, it's more optional, seeing if you need more time, if you're getting to your tokens fast enough. For me, I'm fine without it, so I didn't keep one. Bubble and Bucko, again, blue bees, you're not going to need to consider them. Commander Bee, 5% extra critical chance. That is very crucial to any hive. Critical chance is super rare, so having that helps a lot. I didn't keep a Demo Bee. Again, bomb pollen, didn't need it. Exhausted Bee, it's more for like white hives, and overall its stats aren't that great, even though it has infinite energy. And once you get more polar power, even though I don't have a lot, energy is not too important, so I didn't keep an Exhausted Bee. Fire Bee, though, you're going to want to keep because of its 50% extra pollen from flames. That's going to be super important, especially if you're running a flame hive with a bunch of spicy bees. You're going to be earning a lot more pollen. Frosty Bee, blue bee, you're not going to need it. Honey Bee, extra honey from tokens, honestly, not too great, and it's only good for conversion, so I didn't keep it. Rage Bee, this is similar to the Brave Bee, but Onet didn't say anything about its bee equips or how it could be helped. So if you're keeping a Brave Bee for extra attack, you may want to go with another Rage Bee because it gives the same gifted hive bonus. So this is the part where I was testing. So Riley bees, I currently have 5 of them in my hive. I'll talk about this afterwards, but for Riley bee, 10% red pollen. Keep it. It's gonna help a lot, no matter if you're running a bomb or a flame hive. Shock bee, again, mostly a white bee, so I didn't keep it. Gives extra white pollen, so you don't need it for red hive. Baby bee, I got rid of, but it's 25% extra loot luck is pretty good. So if you're starting off as a red hive and you're still like killing mobs for items to buy more gear, you're probably gonna want a gifted baby bee for that extra loot luck. But at my level, I just got rid of it because it's better to have more spicy bees to get more value out of a scorching star now. Carpenter bees, I got 3 of them in my hive. Their marks help a lot, and they can make your pollen or honey go up a lot faster during boosts. So I kept 3 carpenter bees. I would recommend keeping some. You don't have to have them, but they do help a lot. Demon bee, again, unless you're running a bomb, red bomb hive, you're not going to need it because it only gives red bomb pollen. Diamond bee, this is the part that got kind of hard because diamond bees gifted hive bonus is double conversion rate, which is insane. So honestly, it depends on how fast you convert. For me, after I got all my spicy bees, because the spicy bees stats give nice conversion, so I didn't really need a diamond bee. But if you're starting off your red hive and you don't have a lot of spicy bees or fast conversion, you may want to keep a gifted diamond bee. Lion bee, again, it's extra attack, so I didn't keep it. But if you're running a attack hive, you may want to keep it because lion bee stats for the attack is good and it gives colorless bee attacks. Music bee you'll want to keep. So overall, you want about 4 or 5 music bees in your hive, at least one of them gifted for extra pollen from bees, which is super important. I currently have 3 plus 1 because I have a toy horn on a cobalt bee. So if you have 2 toy horns, you can keep like 2 or 3 music bees because the toy horn gives melody, and that's the main reason why music bee is so good, because of the melody. So now that we move on, ninja bee. So in most hives, I'd say you want to keep a ninja bee. 5% bee movement speed, so when you're fighting or when you're like jumping around fields, and then when your bees alone are like just moving around the pollen patches, that's gonna be super useful. So I'd say keep your bee movement speed. Shy bee, I only have 1 because I just want the 10% red pollen, and I'll get into more as in why I got more Riley bees and shy bees after I finish talking about this. Fuzzy bee, I'd say keep about 2 or 3 depending on how fast you need your fields to grow. But for me, I only needed 2, especially because after you get 2 gifted fuzzy bees, they drop a lot of fuzz bombs, and they also do the pollen haze. So if you have 2 gifted fuzzy bees, I'm guessing that's enough. Spicy bees, I'd say you want at least 8 spicy bees. And if you're running a scorching star, which I recommend if you're running a red hive, you're going to want a few more because maxing out your scorching star ability is extremely important. It can really help with your honey making. Tadpole bee, I'd say keep 1 or 2 depending on how fast you run through the field. If you're running a bomb hive, you may want to keep 2 because bombs really eat away at the flowers. But for me, my supreme saturator and 1 tadpole bee can keep the field up long enough. Nectar bee, for a red hive, I'd say you want at least 2 or 3. Some people have like 5, but for me, I'm probably just gonna have 2. That's why I'm changing this bomber bee. I'm hoping to get another vector bee. And then as for all the event bees, you're gonna want to keep. Cobalt bee is more like personal preference. Honestly, I kept it because the blue pulse with the crimson bee, you can do double the pulses, and crimson bee alone, the stats are decent, and the syncing, if you are running a red hive, but like during these new events with the quests, the blue hives or the blue buffs do help a little bit. So I did keep a cobalt bee, and yeah, that's all of it for the bees, and I'll talk about the other stuff now. Now that we got the bees out of the way, I'd like to talk about some of the questions that some people were asking. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask it down below. I'd try to answer it as fast as I can, but this week I may be busy because I'm studying for midterms for school, so I may not be answering your questions super fast, but I'll try my best to. So anyways, one of the questions that somebody asked was festive marks, basically the new festive bee wreath, bee equip. spawns in a festive mark, which gives you 2.5 times extra red bomb pollen and instant conversion, which sounds pretty good. And I guess people are wondering if they should keep, I guess, just red bomb hives. In general, the festive wreath doesn't spawn in that often, and when it does, it doesn't last too long. So even with the festive wreath with the red bomb buff, I would still recommend going flame because red bomb is still very weak compared to flame hives. And the next question I'd heard were which bee is better in a red hive for the red boost tokens to spawn your scorching star, Riley bee, or shy bee. So in most attack hives, if you prioritize attack, definitely go Riley because its attack is way stronger than shy bees. And if you're running a pollen collection hive, it mainly depends on which aspect of the collection you make more on. If you make a lot more honey on scorching star, or if you make more honey by just like the intermission between that passive. For me, I made a lot more honey during scorching star than the intermission time before that passive, so I chose Riley bee. And maybe wondering why people choose Riley bee, right here, it gives only red boost. So when it spawns a token, it must spawn a red boost. But then if you look at shy bee, it can also spawn a red bomb token, which is like a 50-50 chance. So if you want a scorching star to spawn faster because it relies on red boosts, you want to go with Riley bees. Okay guys, so before we end the video, I'm gonna go over some mutations for your bees. So I'll start off with the most important bee in a red hive, or in a in the flame red hive, spicy bee. Most of the time you're gonna want bee ability rate, attack, conversion, or gather amount, and I'll get into more details on those. So first of all, I said bee ability rate. For most mythics, what makes them so good is just their tokens and what they spawn, not necessarily their stats. So bee ability rate on any mythic is really good. For a spicy bee, conversion, because if you look at the spicy bee stats, one of its best stats is conversion and the other one is attack. So that's why I said you can go for a stat, you can go for conversion or attack. And of course, if you're running an attack hive, of course go for attack. And gather amount, sometimes spicy, like when it spawns in its flames, it gathers a lot of pollen, so you can go for gather. And for me, I chose conversion because it mostly depends on the passives that you have on your star amulet. So for me, I have like scorching star and star shower. Star shower doesn't convert enough honey or pollen for my hive, so then I'll have to rely on my spicy bees when I get to the hive to convert honey fast. For more pro red hives that have like better star amulets, they probably have like scorching star and like star saw. When they activate star saw, they get like instant conversion, which helps a lot with them staying in the field longer, which means they don't need as much conversion help from their spicy bees. So then they go for gather with their flames, which is honestly a better option. But so far I've been rolling a lot of star amulets, and I didn't get any scorching star and star saw combinations because they're so rare. So maybe in the future, but for now I'll just stick with this. The next bee I'll talk about with mutations are the event bees. So of course, for like Cobalt and Crimson, their attack is pretty good, along with like Vicious. You'll probably have to go with attack because that's its only reason why you're keeping it in your hive. Windy bee, basically all its stats are good, so it depends. I said I probably want to go for a collection, but I currently have it on conversion, which is fine, but I'll change it later. Gummy bee, you're gonna want conversion because Gummy bee's best stat right now, conversion, and I recommend keeping your Gummy bee at the bottom of the hive so it converts faster. Bear bee, collection. Puppy bee, honestly, energy mutations are pretty bad. I'll change that later, but yeah, overall in any hive, I wouldn't recommend energy mutations because if you have like thousands of polar power, energy mutations are like useless. Yeah, I had to get rid of all these energy mutations. For Tabby bee, I highly recommend collection because its scratch paired along with like its 100% critical scratch if it's gifted is like super insane. So I'd recommend going gather amount on Tabby. And as for your supports, just go for their best stats. I'd say either collection or attack. depending on which one you're running. For these other red bees, I wouldn't recommend conversion because overall red bee conversion stats are pretty terrible. That's why the spicy bee is so good, because it covers up that weakness that red hives have with conversion. So that's basically it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions that I didn't go over, or any extra information you want to see, just say it in the comments. I'll probably see it. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.